This week on the Computer Chronicles, the 10th Annual Computer Bowl. We'll take you to Boston, where the overachieving techies from the East Coast take on the stock option geeks from the West Coast to see who knows more about the trivia of computers and the Internet. Cheers star John Ratzenberger joins me as co-host. The contestants for the West Coast include Netscape's Mark Andreessen, New York Times columnist Denise Caruso, and the chairman of Intuit, Scott Cook. The East Coast team includes the president of the Software Publishers Association, Ken Wash, Walt Mossberg of the Wall Street Journal, and Robert Ziff of Guess Who. Guest questioners include VisiCalc inventor Dan Bricklin, whoops, there goes one answer, and Gwen Bell, co-founder of the Computer Museum. The 10th Annual Computer Bowl from Boston, next on the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by SoftSource Incorporated, publishers of Pro1's Mathematics Tutor in a Box for school year 98-99, including 6 CDs and workbook. And by Z Auction, the live online shopping experience. Additional funding from PC Connection and Mac Connection, the catalog and online superstore with PC and Mac products, toll-free technical support, and overnight delivery. And by Windows Magazine, delivering desktop, enterprise, and internet computing news, reviews, features, and how-tos for a Windows world, because the world runs on Windows.
I'd like to introduce you to tonight's Master of Ceremonies. I'd like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies for tonight. He is the host of the Computer Chronicles and the Computer Bowl show. Please welcome Stewart Cheifet.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. All right, let's have a nice round of applause, actually, for our Computer Bowl ensemble you've been listening to. It is the Mike Renna Band. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th Annual Computer Bowl. Over the first 9 years, I'm sorry to say the score has actually been a bit lopsided. The West Coast has won 6 times. The East Coast has won 3 times. So you folks here in Boston, I think you ought to cheer a little bit, encourage your guys back there. You need a little help. And just so you all here in Boston know, out on the West Coast, we have a live audience also at Moffett Field in Mountain View, California, watching this with a live satellite feed. And you guys out there, I assume you ought to be clapping and cheering on your West Coast guys who are backstage right now. So let's assume they're clapping. Show a little sportsmanship here. All right, by the way, this 10th Annual Computer Bowl is being webcast live through the courtesy of Sun Microsystems. It also is going to be archived on the web. You'll be able to access the Computer Bowl webcast at computerbowl.org, at sun.com, and at graham.com. Now, as you know, this annual Computer Bowl is a serious battle of wits, a battle of computer trivia to see whether it is the techies on the East Coast or those geeks on the West Coast who know more about the history and the events and the people of the computer industry. And the winners of this 10th Annual Computer Bowl will be crowned, as always, super sages of cyberspace. So we're going to get right to it. Representing the West Coast, the reigning champions are the Senior Vice President for Product Development at Netscape, Mark Andreessen. The Chairman of Intuit, Scott Cook. The President and CEO of Storm Technology, Bill Kraus. The Chairman and CEO of Starwave, Mike Slade. And the captain of the West Coast team, technology columnist for the New York Times, Denise Caruso. So we've got the Cowboys on the West. Who will we see on the East? All right, for the East Coast, the challengers, the president of... Take it off. The president of Yo-Yo Dime, please welcome Seth Godin. Personal technology columnist for the Wall Street Journal, Walt Mossberg. The president of the Software Publishers Association, Ken Wash. The president of Ziff Brothers Investments, Robert Ziff. And now the captain of the East Coast team, he's Executive Vice President for Strategy at Lotus Development Corporation. Welcome, Mike Zisman. So it's the Cowboys versus the Patriots in Computer Bowl 10.
That'd be Hollywood Henderson.
All right, it is my great pleasure now to introduce my, well, actually, before I do that, you know, we have learned over the past years that a lot of times these guys are very competitive and they argue sometimes about the correct answers to these questions. So we have with us tonight two expert judges who are going to rule very quickly, I hope, on any disputed answers, any fights we get into here. So please welcome our two distinguished judges. We have Andy Cunningham of Cunningham Communications. Where's Andy? And Dan Bricklin of Travles Corporation. Now, it is indeed my pleasure to introduce my co-host for tonight's Computer Bowl. He is a native New Englander, by the way, so look out for any East Coast bias here, guys. Be on the lookout. He is known as a trivia buff. He is, in fact, a computer enthusiast. In fact, he has designed and developed a groundbreaking, secure website in association with Anderson Consulting to enable diabetes researchers to talk to each other and to share their work. He is also a prolific producer and writer and director. He has appeared as an actor in many television series and movies, including Gandhi, Star Wars, Murphy Brown, and Toy Story. You have probably seen him recently on television as the Pitney Bowes Man, and you no doubt all know him as a regular at a local bar right around here called Cheers. Please welcome John Ratzenberger.
John. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks. This is Boston, isn't it? Yeah? Thank you. Thank you. It's very nice of you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Very quickly, though, I just want to say a couple of things. When I was a young guy, a little way back long ago, when they had steam-run computers, a friend of mine went on our front porch, and one of the local egghead kids was walking by, and we started making fun of him, going, hey, egghead, four eyes, and all that. After he left, my father came out and said, listen, son, I want you to remember one thing. Never make fun of the nerds, because someday you're going to be working for them. So, what do you say, boss?
It's called The Revenge of the Nerds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hackers of all ages, get ready for Computer Bowl 10. The rules of the game, by the way, have already been explained to both teams, so panelists, start your brains. And John, I want you to get going and ask question number one.
Number one, okay, here we go. The blockbuster movie Titanic made extensive use of computer-generated effects, including computer-generated people. And some of the scenes of the movie, a vast number of people were in fact computer-generated. What is the greatest number of computer-generated characters that are seen on the screen at one time? Is it 50, 100, 500, or 1,000?
All right, I heard a stamp over here from Seth. What's the answer?
500.
That is not the correct answer. It was, believe it or not, 1,000. In that one sinking scene, there are 1,000 computer-generated people on there at the same time. All right, second question, John.
Some airlines are now allowing passengers to recharge their laptop computers while in flight, but an organization called the Portable Rechargeable Battery Association. Boy.
You haven't heard of them?
There's people with a lot of time in their hands, huh?
It's the PRBA. Yeah.
They apparently want the FAA to prohibit airline passengers from doing that, recharging the batteries. Why?
That's a serious question. The answer is Scott.
Because they claim there are some problems that could include malfunction or even fire because of different batteries.
Fire is close enough. You have to worry about a fire. Very good. All right, 10 points over here for the West.
Okay.
Somebody is in the lead. John, go.
Okay, most every PC keyboard has a tab key. Tab is an abbreviation for what word?
All right, who was it? Scott?
Tabular.
No? Yeah, Scott?
Tabular.
Tabulator is right. Another 10 points over here.
Alrighty.
All right, go.
The Amiga computer disappeared from the U.S. market some years ago, but in 1997, Amiga Technologies was purchased by a major American...
Ken Wash?
Samsung Computers.
That is not correct. Hold it. They interrupted, so you guys get a chance to answer. You lose 10 points. John will finish the question. Somebody has to buzz in for the right answer. Finish it, John.
And you have to give me $5 later, too. All right. Amiga Technologies was purchased by a major American computer company. Who bought Amiga? Dell, Hewlett-Packard, Gateway, or IBM?
Who's going to buzz? All right, I see it. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Mark?
Gateway.
Gateway is correct. Another 10 points over here. All right. Now, during the course of this Computer Bowl, we're going to be bringing guest questioners in from the computer industry to ask you about little bits of trivia which are of particular interest to them. Our first question tonight comes from David Flashen. He is president and CEO of Thomson Financial Services. Here is his question. You'll see it up here.
On October 28, 1997, the industry's electronic trading network, Oasis, helped the New York Stock Exchange process a record 1.2 billion shares. The most heavily traded stocks on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ were both technology companies. What companies were they?
Michael.
Compaq and Microsoft.
That is not correct. I'm sorry. Compaq was right. Compaq was it on the New York Stock Exchange. It was Intel on the NASDAQ. Sorry. All right. Let's go to our next question, John.
Alrighty. Windows may be the most popular operating system for PCs, but there's another operating system out there. Hey, I'm a Mac guy.
How's that Edsel running for you?
It's the G3, the sports model. Okay, Windows may be the most popular operating system for PCs, but there's another operating system out there that is distributed free and has been called the most sophisticated PC operating.
All right, Mark Andreessen.
Linux.
Linux is correct. Guys are sharp. All right.
Didn't even have to tell them about Finland. Huh?
All right, so we're going to go to our bonus round. We have 4 bonus round questions during the course of this game, 2 for each side. Let me explain the rules for our bonus round questions. We're going to begin with the West Coast first. Let me tell you, the category is languages used on the web, okay? And you can wager your points. 10 a question, 20 a question, up to 30 a question. It's the same for each of the 3 questions. How much you want to go for? You've actually got 40 points on the scoreboard, but you can borrow.
Oh, we'll just do 10.
10 points. All right, here is question number 1. English is the most common language used on World Wide Web pages. According to Alice Research and the Internet Society, as of the end of last year, what percentage of all web pages in the world were in English? And I'll accept an answer within 5% of the correct answer. You can consult. Denise, you're the only one who can answer. What percentage of all the web pages in the world are in the English language? And I need an answer within 5% of the correct number. And your time is just about up. Denise, what do you think?
85.
You're right on. It was 82. Very good. You guys are hot. All right, here we go. Now, English, as we just heard, is the most common language on the web. Which language ranks number 2? And it's multiple choice, actually. Is it French, Chinese, German, or Russian? Which is number 2? French, Chinese, German, or Russian? What is the second most popular language on web pages? Next to English, Denise, the answer is?
German.
Very good, another 10 points. All right. Well, guess what the third question is? What is the third most common language used on internet web pages? And you don't need any multiple choices anymore. What is the third most common language used on web pages? All right, time is up, Denise. It is?
Chinese.
Wrong, it was Japanese. Good try. Okay, you got 20 points out of that. No, it was not a multiple choice question. Remember? No. I told you that. These guys are. Yes, you lost 10 for getting that wrong. That's the way it works. All right, these guys are tough, John.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe we should have them arm wrestle the other team.
Right.
We just get out of here early.
All right, go, John. What's the next question?
All right, the sci-fi movie Lost in Space is a big hit this year, thanks to some whiz-bang high-tech effects. Now, it's based on an original TV series which featured a character called Robbie the Robot. We all know and love Robbie, I remember. In the original TV series, what microprocessor was used inside Robbie the Robot?
Robbie the Robot on the original Lost in Space.
No hints
Bill
from the peanut
Krause.
gallery.
I'm
you
sorry?
got it first?
That's all right, Bill.
The 8088.
I hate to embarrass you, but there were no microprocessors in the early 1960s when Robbie the Robot was on. No answer.
The answer is none.
The answer is none, I'm sorry, yes.
But now,
Trick question, what can you do?
but now, of course, Robbie is bundled with Windows 98.
Of course. All right. Our next celebrity question is going to be on video again. This will be from Dan Bricklin, one of our judges, but also one of our guest questioners. He, of course, is founder and chief technology officer of Travles Corporation. Here's the question.
Eric Allman wrote a piece of software called SendMail, which is now used to deliver most of the Internet's email. The latest version of SendMail includes anti-spamming features. When was the first version of SendMail written?
All right, Mike thinks he knows.
68.
1968. That is wrong, and we did not get to complete the question, so you guys are going to get to hear the multiple choices. So can we play the question again, please?
Eric Allman wrote a piece of software called SendMail, which is now used to deliver most of the Internet's email. The latest version of SendMail includes anti-spamming features. When was the first version of SendMail written? Was it in 1993, in 1989, 1985, or 1981?
Wes has to buzz in on that. Don't look so hard. All right, go ahead, Mark.
1985.
That is wrong. The answer was 1981. 1981. All right, we have time for one more question in this round, John. Go ahead.
Yep, all right. In the classic text adventure computer game Zork, you're occasionally told it is pitch black. When it happens, what is likely to happen to you? Will you be attacked by a troll, fall down a well, be attacked by a dragon, or be eaten by a grue?
All right, who played this game? Robert?
Eaten by a grue.
Eaten by a grue is right. Okay, 10 points for these. All right, when we get down to the serious stuff, you guys know what you're talking about. All right, it's the end of round one. West Coast 50, East Coast -10. Okay, we're ready to go. You ready, John?
I was born ready, Stewart.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
All right, we are ready for round 2 of Computer Bowl 10. Score again, it's now actually 50 points over here. -10, or something good happened for you guys during the break, I don't know. 50 to -10, give them the first question, John.
All right, there is some debate as to whether or not there's life forms on Mars, but there are now several microprocessors on Mars. How many microprocessors are currently on the surface of Mars? Is it 2, 5, 10, or 100?
Good question. All right, it looks like, Robert?
5.
5? That is not the correct answer. I don't know why I thought it was 5. There are 2, one on the Pathfinder, one on the rover, actually. So there are 2 microprocessors on Mars. Let's move on to the next question, John.
That's a Range Rover. All right, 2 Stanford graduates created one of the most successful internet companies called Yahoo. Can you name them both?
All right, Michael.
Jerry Yang and...
That was the easy one.
All right. His last name is Philo, F-I-L-O, and his first name is...
Judges, what do you say?
Mr. Philo.
Yeah, come on, we got Philo.
What do you say, judges?
Jeff.
He said yes.
Lou. Zicky.
Judges, I need an answer.
Got the name.
Come on.
Yeah, how many guys named
All right,
Philo?
yes.
there you go.
David Philo. All right, you were close enough on that. All right, John, give the next one.
All right, now, hey, no booing here. Come on, these are very sensitive technology guys. Most people have heard of IBM's chess-playing software called Deep Blue, but there's also a world champion checkers player program. What's it called? Is it Chinook, Alberta, Checker King, or Jumpmaster?
What is the name of... Yes, Robert.
Jumpmaster.
No, that is not right. Not right.
That's the parachute program.
It is Chinook. All right, next one, John.
All righty, what is the common internet term for a person who reads the messages in a news group but never
Mark?
Lurker.
Lurker is right. 10 points over here. That was an easy one. All right, we have our next celebrity question on video from Randy Batat, Corporate Vice President and ISG General Manager with Motorola. Here is Randy's question for you.
The Motorola cable modem provides up to 10 megabits per second to a user on a PC. How many times faster is that than a 56K modem? Is it 8 times faster, 26 times faster, 178 times faster, or 256 times faster?
All right, who can do long division here? Robert?
178.
Sorry?
178.
Correct. All right, well done. All right, we're back to 0. That's progress. Go, John.
All righty, we're rocking right along. In a famous sci-fi movie, the following line is spoken, My instructor was Mr. Langley, and he taught me to sing a song. If you'd like to hear it, I can sing it for you. Who spoke that line?
Who are the sci-fi fans there? Mike?
Hal in 2001.
Absolutely, Hal. All right. We'll give it to you. East Coast, this is your big chance now. This is a bonus round. So you got 3 questions. You can take 10, 20, or 30 points apiece. Let me tell you the category. The category is songs having to do with technology, all right? Songs having to do with technology. 10, 20, or 30 points a question.
30 points.
Oh, my God, all the way.
Hey, we're the risk-taking post.
When Microsoft launched Windows 95, they got the clever idea of using a Rolling Stones song to launch their event. The song was Start Me Up. That's too easy. That's not the question. How much did Microsoft pay the Rolling Stones for the right to use the song Start Me Up? Was it $500,000, $1 million, $12 million, or did they get it for nothing? You've got 10 seconds to consult. How much, if anything, did Microsoft pay to use Start Me Up from the Rolling Stones? Mike?
$1 million.
No, I'm sorry. 12 million was the answer. 12 million was the answer.
Yeah, this is the Rolling Stones, don't forget.
No price is too high. You still got time. You still got time. They're getting easier.
I'm getting 10 for being here. What are you talking about?
10 what?
10 mil.
All right.
Aren't you getting paid?
10 million shares of Yo-Yo Done.
All right, earlier this year, Bill Gates sang a song on national television on the ABC program 2020. What song did he sing? Gates sang a song on 2020 on ABC. What was the song?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Right, 30 points. Okay. Good. You're back where you started from. All right, another chance to make 30 points and catch up here. When you start Windows 95, by default, it makes a distinctive musical sound. That short piece of music, believe it or not, was created by a well-known musician. Was it David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Brian Eno, or Elton John? Who made that little ba-ding noise on Windows 95? It was written by Jagger.
That was John Philip Sousa, wasn't it?
That's another noise.
A little ba-ding.
All right, Jagger, Eno, John, or Bowie?
Eno.
Eno's right, 30 points, all right.
Easy.
All right, it's getting close. West Coast 80, East Coast 30 now. John, go to it.
All right, last year a young man named Dennis Fong won the Intergraph Quake Red Annihilation Tournament, the world's richest computer game competition. He won $60,000 in prize money and something else. What is that something else?
I know the answer to that. All right, Denise?
A bundled package of Windows 98.
No. He actually won a Ferrari sports car. Guy's name was Thresh. He won.
Same price.
Here you go.
Yeah, same price. All right, we have.
Same amount of memory.
Equally reliable.
Uh-oh. Our next celebrity question is from Oliver Strimple, Executive Director of the Computer Museum. Here is Oliver's question.
Intel's latest version of the Pentium processor is the Pentium 2 chip. In what country did Intel first offer the Pentium 2 for sale? Was it Japan, the United States, China, or Israel?
All right, Scott?
United States.
No, that's not correct, I'm afraid. The correct answer was China. Believe it or not, correct answer was China. John, give him the next question.
All right, there are a lot of strange websites out there with odd URLs. Which of the following is not a real website?
Read it.
The cat that looks like Hitler, the official French fries page, driveways of the rich and famous, or underwater baseball?
All right, Seth.
Driveways of the rich and famous.
I knew you'd say that, but you're wrong. It is Underwater Baseball is not a website. The other ones actually are. Go ahead, John, give me another one.
The Prodigy Online service began as a joint venture between two large corporations. One of them was IBM. Who was the other partner?
All right, was that Mark? Yes.
Sears.
Sears, of course. Another 10 points over here.
Wait a minute.
Objection.
My biggest client, it was three companies. When it was
CBS.
started.
CBS.
So you got to get the question.
But also, Mark's Light was
Hold it. Judges, East Coast is right, therefore West Coast is wrong.
But the question you asked,
I know that. We will throw out the question and move on. How's that? Throw out the question and move on. All right, John, give him the next one. Maybe this will be less
Alrighty.
controversial.
Software packaging has become a fine art. While many programs are still packaged in traditional rectangular boxes, some have more unusual containers. One particular graphics programs come packaged in a paint can.
Walt thinks he knows the answer.
Painter, dabbler. No.
Is that the name of your pets? Nothing there. All right.
I don't know. What do you say, judges? That's.
It was Fractal Design Painter, and since it was clearly you said was Painter. So that's
Yes?
okay. Yes.
Yes, all right, Walt wins. All right, last question of this round coming up. Go ahead, John.
Oh, what a modest man, huh? All right, Veronica is the name for internet search tool. The name Veronica is in fact an acronym. What do the letters VERONICA stand for?
Who knows what the Veronica acronym is? Boy, nobody's buzzing here real quickly. What does Veronica stand for? It is an acronym. Anyone? Go ahead, Mark.
I don't know, but it's bundled with Windows 98.
Can you get that on a Mac?
All right, that was a tough one. It stands for, believe it or not, very easy, rodent-oriented, net-wide index to computerized archives.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't you get that?
One of
All
the
right.
easier ones.
I hate when that happens.
That is the end of round 2, ladies and gentlemen. The West Coast has 80, the East Coast has 40, 2 rounds to go.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by SoftSource Incorporated, publishers of Pro One software, educational software for young adults. And by Z Auction, the live online shopping experience. Additional funding from PC Connection and Mac Connection, the catalog and online superstore with PC and Mac products, toll-free technical support and overnight delivery. And by Windows Magazine, delivering desktop, enterprise, and internet computing news, reviews, features, and how-tos for a Windows world, because the world runs on Windows.
To purchase a videotape copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-310-7850. Please specify the show number and the topic.
Next week on the Computer Chronicles, the conclusion of the Computer Bowl. We'll go back to Boston for the final 2 rounds of this 10th annual Computer Bowl to see whether the techies from the East Coast can catch up with the geeks from the West Coast in this contest to see who knows more about the trivia of computers and the Internet. Cheers star John Ratzenberger joins me again as co-host. The contestants will be the same, including Netscape's Mark Andreessen, New York Times columnist Denise Caruso, Intuit's Scott Cook, SBA President Ken Wash, Walt Mossberg of the Wall Street Journal, and Robert Ziff of Ziff Brothers Investments. The conclusion of Computer Bowl 10 from Boston, coming up next week on the Computer Chronicles.